Due to the current heatwave in the UK and the fact that thousands of people are rushing to the beach, I thought it'd be fitting to do a video on how to transform your beaches. Terraforming beaches is really quite simple. The first thing you want to do is create some wet sand. This can be done through a basic block palette and a slight gradient from oak to birch and into sand. By doing this, it creates the illusion of wet sand on your beach. You should also bear in mind if the beach is tidal whether the water will be coming in or out, as if it's coming in, wet sand will not be above the waterline, and if it's going out, it will stretch up the beach. This will later affect where decorations and debris are placed. When decorating under the water, it's important to add plenty of sea plants, as this creates a sense of vibrancy, and the animated textures of many of these plants create motion and make the build come to life. It's very important to pay attention to what's under the water, not just what's on the beach itself. Corals can add an extra touch of colour, however be careful not to make it overly colourful, as this could take away from the overall effect. Due to the nature of beaches, they can often end up looking rather flat. I'd recommend adding cliffs to the edge of your beach in order to create a divide in textures and height. Cliffs come in many forms, so the palette is up to the builder. However, I decided to use a brown mud-based palette, which takes inspiration from the fake stones found in Victorian rock gardens, as they appear quite commonly along the coast, at least here in England. These rocks are often used as planters, so I've also decided to add moss and plants to the top of the cliff. Having the two horizontal layers, I recommend using different block palettes. This is one of the other reasons I've used this moss, as it differentiates between the land above the beach and the beach itself, making the beach seem secluded and like its own individual biome. Beaches are not clean, and I think to decorate them you often need to use a bit of block vomit. Here I want to represent the debris caused by the tide coming in and going back out again. So I'm using lichen and moss to represent the washed up sea life. Most of it can be found below the high water line, however some of it will have been dragged up. This creates the illusion of the tide and makes the beach feel generally more realistic. If you want to learn about other sand-based terraforming, may I recommend my video on terraforming deserts on the end screen now.